So in 2017, 696 people were killed with hands or feet, meaning, generally speaking, that they were beaten to death.
Yes.
How many people do you know who were beaten to death in 2017?
Yeah, I know no one.
Me too, and I run in pretty sordid company.
In fact, I don't think I can recall seeing a news article of someone being killed that way.
Right, but here's the kicker. Only 403 people in that same year were killed with rifles in homicides.
That's right, almost half as many.
And that's rifles of every kind, and an AR-15 is a rifle. So when you see politicians bloviating endlessly on the evils of the AR-15, AR-15s killed fewer than 400 people in 2017. That's the last year for which we have data.
That's right. And again, every one of those 400 deaths are meaningful. However, if you want to talk about banning dangerous weapons, why are we talking about the AR-15, which killed fewer than 400 people, rather than knives that killed almost 1,600 people?
So you're actually, by the numbers, 4 times as likely to be killed with a knife as a rifle.
That's correct.
That's actually quite something. Most people have no idea that that's true. And when I say most people, I honestly mean most people. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee took to the airwaves, I think it was yesterday, and went on and on and on about the evil AR-15. And she made a couple of very interesting points. The first of which is that it weighed as much as 10 packed moving boxes. I didn't realize that a packed moving box was a standard unit of measurement, but okay, let's give her the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Well, let's pause there for a moment. How does she know that? I mean, is she capable of lifting 10 moving boxes that she could say, yeah, this is about the same?
I suspect not, but she has, according to her, lifted an AR-15 recently, and I guess it's a touch hyperbolic. But then she said the bullets that the AR-15 shoots are 50 caliber rounds, which is so far from the truth. That's a high-powered sniper rifle bullet for crying
Right, that's
out
what
loud.
you use to take out an aircraft. It's not a rifle round.
To be clear, that round can penetrate the hull of a tank.
Yeah.
An AR-15, on the other hand, can shoot a squirrel.
Right, yeah.
So there's a bit of a difference here. But when our public officials, those charged with writing the laws about the things that make everybody terrified, when they don't know anything at all about what they're talking about, you really can't expect everybody else to do a whole lot better.
It's one thing, I mean, we could sit here and laugh about it, and it is amusing. It's also sad. But the thing that saddens me the most is there's a bunch of people on both sides of this firearms question that would like to come together and have a meaningful conversation. And that kind of meaningful conversation can never occur so long as the press and politicians are saying things that are so blatantly false that half of the conversation, the people who are anti-gun, are inflamed at this rhetoric, and the other half, the people who are pro-gun, just want to walk away because it's clear that nobody knows what they're talking about. We exercise, suppose that reduced the number of deaths by 10%, that would be 85,000 lives saved. Well, that's 10 times the number of lives you would save if you could wave a magic wand and make all guns disappear tomorrow.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that when we say gun death, that also includes suicides.
It includes suicide, which actually is the predominant number of deaths. Something on the order of 2/3 of gun deaths are suicides.
Right. So when you hear the breathlessly reported statistics in the news about how many people are dying because of guns in our midst, 2/3 of them, 2 of every 3, killed themselves, a choice they made.
And that brings up all other kinds of questions, like should we be paying more attention to people's mental health, this sort of thing. But even so, the numbers we're talking about here are on the order of 1/5 to 1/10 of the number of lives we'd save simply by exercising better. And that's in a kind of in a bad case scenario. I imagine we'd actually save a lot more than 10% of the cardiovascular deaths if we exercised seriously.
So, Ant, roughly speaking, if we were to take about what we could hope to do in terms of cardiovascular health and the lives that would save, it would save as many lives as would be saved if we could solve the following problems: gun suicide, non-gun suicide, gun homicide, nutritional deficiency, obesity, suffocation, non-gun homicide, medical errors, drowning, fire and smoke, and accidental firearms discharge. all of those things would be exactly the same number of people as if we could just work on the exercise and have, about a 12% success rate. If that doesn't put it in perspective, I don't know what does.